You know that feeling when you're watching a movie, a huge superhero battle, or maybe a really emotional scene? What is it that gives you actual goosebumps? Well, a lot of the time, it's the music. And there's a really good chance that this one guy is the reason why.
Right? Think about it. It's like when you're at a concert and you feel that bass in your chest. That's the feeling we're talking about. It's that sound that takes a scene from being just cool to being something you absolutely never forget. So, who's the magician behind all of this? This man right here, Hans Zimmer. He didn't just write some cool movie tunes, he pretty much invented the sound for the modern blockbuster. But his story is kind of wild. It's not what you'd expect from a famous composer at all.
Yeah, see, Zimmer wasn't some kid who grew up playing classical piano his whole life. He was more like a tech nerd back in the 80s messing around with the very first synthesizers. He was making little jingles for commercials, not writing these huge symphonies. Honestly, he was more of an innovator, kind of like a YouTuber trying out new gear. And that's the key to his whole sound.
So before Zimmer came along, movie music was pretty much just orchestras, lots of violins and trumpets. But he just completely crashed that party. He started blending all that traditional stuff with his electronic equipment. Just imagine the deepest bass you've ever heard mixed with super loud drums and synth, all hitting you at the same time. That's his signature wall of sound. It's literally designed to feel huge. And one of his go-to tricks is this little thing called an ostinato. Okay, the easiest way to think about it is like a beat in a viral video that just keeps looping and building and getting more intense. It's this short repeating pattern that gets faster or louder, and it creates this insane tension that makes you lean forward, just waiting for something big to happen. So armed with this powerful new sound, he heads to Hollywood. But the big question was, would this really different electronic style actually work for the biggest movies on the planet? Well, the answer turned out to be a massive yes.
His first huge hit was for the movie Rain Man. The director was just sick of the same old boring orchestra music. So Zimmer used synthesizers and steel drums, sounds that nobody, and I mean nobody, was using for a serious movie. It was a huge gamble, but it totally paid off. He got an Oscar nomination for it and proved to all of Hollywood that electronic music could actually make you feel something. And from there, the man just exploded onto the scene. For The Lion King, he actually flew to South Africa to record with real choirs to make it sound authentic. And it gave us one of the most unforgettable movie openings of all time, and won him an Oscar. Then, a few years later with Gladiator, he basically created the blueprint for how every epic historical movie would sound from then on. All of this incredible work led him to his most famous partnership, teaming up with the director Christopher Nolan. And with Nolan, the music wasn't just some background noise. Oh no, the sounds they created together basically became characters in the movies themselves. This is just next level brilliant. To create the theme for the Joker in The Dark Knight, Zimmer used just one note. A single screeching note from a cello that he digitally messed with until it sounded like a razor blade scraping against something. It's this ugly, tense sound that just puts you on edge every single time the Joker shows up. And that just proves the point, right? You don't always need some big, complicated song. Sometimes one single, perfectly creepy sound is all it takes to tell you everything you need to know about a villain. And then there's this. That huge, booming, foghorn sound from the movie Inception. That one sound became so famous that pretty much every single action movie trailer for the next 10 years copied it. It literally became the official sound for Epic. But his work on Inception was even smarter than that. The whole movie is about how time moves differently inside of dreams. So to create that feeling with music, Zimmer took a well-known song and just stretched it out. He slowed it way, way down, and that slow, booming theme became the actual sound of dream time in the movie. It was a musical mind trick. So here's where it gets really crazy. Hans Zimmer isn't just a composer. He's more like a tech CEO or the founder of a startup. He built an entire empire that completely changed how movie music gets made. He started this company called Remote Control Productions. And honestly, the best way to think about it is like a top-tier esports team or a creator house, but for composers. It's this super high-tech studio where he brings in young, talented musicians and basically teaches them everything he knows. He gives them access to all his custom-built technology and his gigantic library of sounds. And this system lets his whole team work on a bunch of huge movies all at the same time. A ton of the big-name composers working today actually got their start right here, learning the Zimmer method.
And I mean, the results speak for themselves. His hybrid orchestra meets electronic style isn't just one option anymore. It is the sound of blockbuster movies. Seriously, the next time you watch a movie trailer or play a big video game, just listen. You'll hear it. That epic, booming, hybrid sound, that's the Zimmer effect.
And if all of that wasn't enough, he took his music and went on tour. Like a rock star, he travels the world playing his movie scores in these giant arenas with a full band. A film composer selling out stadiums? That's pretty much unheard of. It just shows you how powerful his music is.
So what's the big takeaway from all this? Hans Zimmer proved that music isn't just something you hear in the background. It's a storyteller. In fact, sometimes the music is the most important character in the film. So next time you're watching a movie, try this. During a really big scene, just close your eyes for a second and listen. You'll know exactly what I'm talking about.